This is another compilation video. This is a compilation of every single versus Benton video I've done, which is about 3. I've technically done more if you count the YouTube shorts, but I didn't feel the need to put them in here, especially because the aspect ratio have been wonky to work with. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and catch you all after the video. Peace. Okay guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be explaining why Ben 10 can solo the DBZ-verse. So tag along or don't. Either way, this is going to be a fun ride. So let's start getting into the feats. Alright, curious fans. Let's start with the most obvious feat of the Omnitrix. You cannot take it off under any circumstance, unless Ben or Asif wants it to come off, as the Omnitrix has numerous failsafes that prevents this from happening. A lot of people keep forgetting that the Omnitrix can't be taken off. The amount of times I've heard someone say the Omnitrix can get taken off is dumb. Granted, most of those people come from the Death Battle video. Man, Death Battle does spread a lot of misinformation about versus, huh? But anyways, that's enough about Death Battle. On to the next exhibit. Alright, let's talk about the failsafes that the Omnitrix has that people either A, get wrong, or B, just don't know about. Starting with, the Omnitrix has a failsafe that won't let Ben die. If he were to, the Omnitrix will create a new body form to a habit using all of the forms he has in the Omnitrix. Which is just absurd, if you ask me. Like, generally probably needs to be nerfed. Another failsafe that the Omnitrix has is if Ben's in danger, or there's a scenario that Ben can't survive or win, the Omnitrix will automatically turn Ben into the alien for that scenario. A lot of people don't know this, and I still find it absurd. And there is also another failsafe, well, not really failsafe, it's more of a feature of the Omnitrix, where Ben really doesn't choose his aliens. The Omnitrix chooses on what it thinks Ben can use to win the scenario. Every time Ben's going for the Omnitrix is kind of just pointless. I don't even know why he does that. I'm gonna be honest here. He probably does it because he has nothing better to do with his life. But yeah, Ben doesn't choose his aliens. I've seen some people say, well, Ben has to choose an alien in order to do a scenario, to be a character in a scenario, which he doesn't, like, at all. But yeah, that's pretty much all the failsafes. Now onto the fun part. We are going to be talking about Ben's aliens that can take down Goku. We are going to be scooting ANX into the end of this example. And we're probably going to start this off with my boy Clockwork, who doesn't get any respect even though he's really powerful. Like, look at this clip. He can stop time and move through it with ease. That's impressive. And I know someone's going to bring up hit and say, well, Goku has broken time. He has not. That is a misunderstanding. The way Ki works in Dragon Ball is if you have a higher power level than someone else, then you can overwhelm any other techniques that they do with Ki. Ben doesn't have Ki, so I don't think that would affect him. On to another alien that can beat Goku. Energy or atomics. Both of them emit radiation. And we both know that Goku can get sick. Heck, one of the canonical ways he dies is from a heart virus. So, I know Goku's strong, but can he beat cancer? I don't think he can. So yeah, that's my main reason for them. Also, energy can like absorb energy, it's kind of in his name, and atomics can make many suns, which I know Goku could probably destroy a sun, but that's still really impressive. Okay, now onto the aliens I'm a bit iffy about, that being Chromostone and Feedback. Chromostone is technically a god. You know, if he dies, he just becomes Diamond Head, which is still pretty cool. And you know, Feedback technically also survived a Big Bang, similar to Alien X. But I don't think he has the strength feats to beat Goku. Goku can't use Kamehamehas or Ki Blast on him though, because Feedback can absorb all energy, including the Big Bang, with relative ease. Also, Feedback stole the Kamehameha. Take that, Goku.
You cannot do this! You wanted your very own Big Bang!
So yeah, it's time to report the big dog, the main man, the main attraction, Alien X. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering what Alien X can do if you've never seen Ben 10. Although Alien X has so many abilities, he can do so many things, that it's best that we start with the things he can't do. Starting with... Wait, what can't this guy do again? Yeah, no, this guy can do whatever he wants. He can change reality in any way he wants, with no potential limits. Which is absurd. How do you want Goku to beat this guy? Yes, Goku can somehow beat God, which he cannot. He can't beat Zeno, a character who's 100% weaker than Alien X. So yeah, that's probably an issue for Goku. Now, you guys do probably want some feats for this guy. So he did survive the destruction of the Annihilog. It has a longer name than Annihilog's abbreviation, but I cannot say the name, so we're sticking with the Annihilog. The Annihilog destroyed Ben's universe, which is infinite in size, as shown here, which makes Alien X high multiversal tier. And we're not done with his feats. As clockwork, an alien who is weaker than Alien X was able to undo the damage done by a Chrono Sapien time bomb, which destroys infinite universes, which makes him beyond multiversal or multiversal plus. How is Goku going to compare to this? Okay, I already know someone's going to bring up this. Goku survived the Hokai. Okay. And then someone's going to say, well, that means Goku survived existence erasure, which is not what that means. The Hokai works based on the power level. If someone buys a Hokai and your power was higher than the Hokai, you can break out of it. So that doesn't work. That's a misstatement. And then someone's going to bring up, well, he also broke out of time prison, so he can break time, making him a third to fourth dimensional being, which is also incorrect. The way power levels work in Dragon Ball is if your power level is higher than someone else's, then you can overcome any of the techniques. It just names again you, because somehow his body change doesn't work that way. So Goku didn't break time. His power level was higher than Hit, so he was able to break out of the time prison. He is not beyond time. And I'm gonna be honest here. Benton doesn't need to use Alien X. He can realistically use Clockwork and age him out of existence, or use Ghost Freak and do the human equivalent of why you're punching yourself, why you're punching yourself. If all these feats, you guys should know why Ben's going to win this. But I already know there's going to be comments saying Goku wins because he's beyond multiversal. If you guys have an actual point of why you think Goku can beat Ben 10, leave it in the comments. If not, well, see you on the next one. Today we're going to be discussing who would win in a fight between Carnitrix Ben and Ben 10 Prime. So let's get into it. Let's start up this example with the fighting skills. Starting with Carnitrix Ben. He's a master of combat, said no one. Carnitrix Ben is being possessed by the Carnitrix, so he has no combat skills. He doesn't make any of his decisions. So yeah, Carnitrix Ben doesn't have very good stats in skill or combat. He's not the world's greatest fighter. Unlike Ben 10 Prime, who is a skilled fighter and has mastered multiple forms of fighting. So you see, the problem with this category is Carnitrix Ben just can't fight. He has no fighting skills and no way of having fighting skills because of how the Carnitrix works. Which, yeah, means that any form of combat skills can easily beat this version of Carnitrix Ben, besides the abilities.
What's a watch doing in outer space?
Okay, this example is going to be focused on the aliens that Ben 10 and carnitrix Ben have. Although we're not going to be talking about Alien X for obvious reasons in this example. The next example, we're going to go over both of the Alien X and compare which one is better. But for this example in particular, we are only going to be talking about the aliens minus Alien X. So let's get into it. Carnitrix Ben's aliens seem to be more durable, or not more durable, but seem to be able to take more damage than Ben Prime's aliens. Now I'm only saying this because carnitrix Ben seems to be bulletproof, or has token bullets to his body. So yeah, definitely more durable. I'm specifically talking about the aliens that aren't Diamond Head because Diamond Head is 100% bulletproof, but you know what I mean. I would show clips, but I'm afraid that if I show any footage of carnitrix Ben, this video will be taken down because you know how gruesome carnitrix Ben could be. Also, carnitrix Ben has complete access to all of his aliens. Now Ben Prime does too, but like if we were having this version of Ben fight any other Ben besides Ben Prime at the end of the show, it would be a bloodbath. I don't think any of them could stand a chance. But that being said, I still think Ben Prime's aliens are way stronger, as they are at the physical peak, unlike carnitrix Ben's aliens, which are, decomposing. They are dead-like. So I don't think that carnitrix Ben could win with any of his aliens. Sorry to carnitrix Ben fans, but look at his aliens and compare them to main Ben's aliens. Do I think main Ben would have an issue fighting carnitrix Ben's aliens? Yes, 100%. Considering that it seems like the carnitrix heals Ben after every form. Considering carnitrix Ben uses eyebrows, has his head crack open, has his skin rip open, tear, morph, burn. Yeah, carnitrix Ben is kind of dark, but you guys have seen the transformations, hopefully. I can't show any of them for obvious reasons, but carnitrix Ben could definitely take a beating. Do I think he's going to be able to survive Ben Prime? Not really, but I don't think anything besides Alien X is going to determine this battle because, carnitrix Ben can't really die. He's kind of like a walking zombie, which is kind of cool. Alright, carnitrix Ben's Alien X has been seen destroying a universe, which would be impressive, except for Ben 10 Prime's Alien X could recreate the universe, which includes concepts like time and space. So yeah, way more impressive than destroying a universe, considering he technically made time. And that's not all. Ben's Alien X has been shown to be the strongest Alien X, has shown when he was fighting the Galactic Gladiator, which was the strongest Celestial Sapien, and he easily won. So we can use other scaling for Celestial Sapiens to scale Ben's Alien X way higher. Like the fact that it was shown that Celestial Sapiens can alter the art style and voice actors, which is crazy to think about. Depending on how you scale this feat, he's either A, multiversal, or slightly above fiction, depending on how you scale this feat. But again, since it was stated that Alien X is the strongest alien in Ben 10 Prime's Omnitrix, you can scale him higher than people like Clockwork, who has enough energy to reverse the destruction of the infinite multiverse, which is a crazy feat. So again, above multiversal or universal plus. He is absurdly powerful, which is why this comes as a surprise to no one. carnitrix Ben's Alien X cannot even touch Ben 10 Prime's Alien X. It's not even close. It's not really a fair fight. And even if you somehow think that carnitrix Ben could win this, carnitrix Ben lost to Atomics, so yeah. Now I'm in Alien X Atomics, Ben's second strongest alien. So I am sorry to anyone who wanted carnitrix Ben to win, but he's just not that strong. Well, kind of. He's really strong, but he's nowhere close to Ben 10 Prime's level. And again, because of how the carnitrix works, carnitrix Ben could never even hope to outsmart Ben 10 Prime, which is kind of childish. Good morning everybody, it's your host BA, back with another video, and today we're answering the question, could Ben 10 beat Saitama? And I'm gonna be honest, this really isn't that close. Generally, once you guys see the feats that these characters have, you would know exactly who wins. Granted, some of you probably already know who wins. So, let's get into it. So for you guys who don't know who Ben is, it's how he's like one of the best characters to ever be invented. Ben 10 is a kid who basically on a summer vacation with his grandpa and cousin finds one of the most powerful weapons in fiction. And when I say it's one of the most powerful weapons in fiction, I mean it's one of the most powerful weapons in fiction. Having abilities like not letting the user die. Literally, you can't die while you wear the Omnitrix. You're physically immortal. And yes, you have magic, which I don't think Saitama knows, or any other character really. It's really hard to find a character who knows magic, which is literally the only confirmed weakness of Ben 10's Omnitrix. Second of all, it can reset anyone's DNA back to its original state, which I don't know if you can use that against Saitama, but super useful ability. And it can turn you into the prime specimen of any species known to man. It also has a failsafe that prevents it from being removed, so people like Saitama can't whip it off, yet he has a failsafe against that. And the Omnitrix is durable enough to survive the destruction of time itself. Let me specify that. All the timelines in the Ben 10 multiverse were destroyed, including the timeline where the Omnitrix came from. Meaning that somehow the Omnitrix existed even though it was never invented. How does that... I don't know how to explain that. It also survived the destruction of literally everything in the universe. Like, this is probably one of the most durable things in fiction. Not even joking. So yeah, I don't think Saitama can like whip this off, or many characters can get past it, because again, it was able to survive its own erasure from existence. I don't even know how that's possible, but it did it. So that's a feat. And we haven't even gotten into the aliens. Ben's original set are really powerful, like Forms, Cabot, all of those guys are planetary because they were able to damage the flipping tick, who was a planetary threat that can destroy the entire planet, and had planetary levels of durability. So being able to damage it made these aliens technically planetary. But again, not Ben's heavy hitters, but like these aliens are absurdly busted. He can go supernova, which is absurd. Specifically when he was flipping 5 years old. A 5-year-old heat blast can go supernova when they fall a temper tantrum. I don't think you understand how impressive that is. Now, don't get me wrong, Saitama is definitely planetary. You know, he was able to take for a chunk of Earth. And that's not all. His sneeze was able to basically destroy Jupiter, which is impressive. Also, Saitama was able to jump from the moon to Earth in like a couple of seconds, which is around like light. Like, that's absurdly fast. I don't think you understand how bust that speed is. Again, he even has better speed feats after this, like being able to throw a punch before he even threw the punch, technically. So there's a lot more to that. I recommend you just read the manga because that's really hard to explain. And even was able to fight people like Cosmic Guile, which I will get into in the next exhibit. Power is what truly defines both Ben 10 and Saitama. Just like you all have the power to like and subscribe. Yes, I don't know how to like tell you guys this, but like, can you guys please like and subscribe? As you can see, I'm at 516 subscribers, and my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So I had to slip some advertisement in here somewhere, and this was the perfect segment. But anyways, back to the main topic. Does OnePunch Man have infinite power? This should be a very simple question, but you know, the Saitama fanboys just don't understand OnePunch Man's power. Everyone says, yes, OnePunch Man has infinite power. It's his gag. He can kill anyone with one punch. That's who he is. Completely misunderstanding Saitama. Saitama's gag is he's an anime protagonist with the power at the end of a story placed at the beginning. It would be like if Goku had, Ojamba had Ultra Instinct, all the powers of the Terminal Power. This Terminal Power Goku at the start of Ojamba. Yeah, he'd be one punching everyone in his verse. He's just too strong. But eventually people will start to catch up to him, like what is happening in OnePunch Man with Cosmic Guile and stuff. In fact, it was actually shown in that arc that people can be stronger than Saitama. Cosmic Guile was stronger than Saitama at the start of the fight. As the fight went on though, Saitama got stronger. Because Saitama doesn't have infinite power, he has infinite potential. There's a difference. So yes, Saitama doesn't have infinite power, he has infinite potential. And even be like, oh, what gives you this just because he was weaker than this person at the start of the fight doesn't mean anything. The reason that Saitama is so strong from the verse is because he broke his limiter, which doesn't mean he has no limits, it just means that he doesn't plateau and he can reach any strength basically with little effort. A limiter is literally based on a real world thing where as you exercise or as you get stronger, you will eventually plateau. You would hit your limit. That would be your limiter. Saitama broke that. He has no plateau. He can easily surpass any limit with no effort whatsoever. He's basically Goku on crack. Which is why I'm always annoyed by OnePunch Man fans. They just don't understand him. They look at the title and see that he kills everyone in one punch, and they just assume that's his gag without doing really any research. Heck, most Saitama fans who power scale, I'm gonna be honest, probably didn't watch the anime or read the manga. They're just probably making things up, which, to be fair, I hate reading manga too, so I don't blame you guys. But still, OnePunch Man doesn't have infinite power. So characters with god tier abilities or characters who are arguably omnipotent, like Alien X or heck, even Superman, not arguably omnipotent, but Superman has like arguably infinite power, could potentially beat Saitama pretty easily, gonna be honest here. In fact, Superman does have way better feats than Saitama. Eat your hearts out. But yes, Saitama is not beating like some of the heavy characters in fiction. Don't get me wrong, he's beating yard characters. Like I do think he could beat Goku at this current point in the manga. But like, no, Saitama doesn't have infinite power. He has infinite potential. There's a clear difference. But you wanna know who does have infinite power? Alien X. Alien X has been shown to recreate the Ben 10 universe. You know, the one that we see, Ben 10 Prime, because that universe was destroyed. Like, completely gone. It doesn't exist anymore. The Nidog wiped it out, which is a bomb that can create or destroy universes. And we know that Ben's universe is infinite in size because the No Void and the Edge of Domain both exist within the Ben 10 universe, and those are confirmed to be infinite in size. So Ben's universe has to be infinite in size to support these infinite size realms. So in order to recreate Ben's universe, you would have to also create these places. So therefore, Ben's universe should be infinite in size, so that's an infinite feat. And even then, there's other aliens with crazier infinite feats, like Clockwork, who was able to shoot an energy beam that rewinded an explosion to destroy the infinite multiverse. And it crossed the infinite multiverse in in a couple of seconds. So, like, that's an immeasurable speed feat right there, by the way, guys. It crossed the infinite multiverse in mere seconds and unwind all the damage. Which kind of crazy. How fast are Clockwork's beams? Is what I don't know, but like, yeah. And again, Ben technically remade all the races within his universe because of the episode, so he should scale to things or be able to like, make his own Clockwork who can do the same thing. Or just use Clockwork. Granted, I don't think Clockwork could beat Saitama, but again, Alien X is confirmed to be the strongest alien within the Army Chick, so he should scale above Clockwork's infinite beam flipping thing. So yeah, Alien X does have infinite power. We've seen this numerous times. He's even fought other beings similar to strength and he easily won. He's had fights where he's just literally debating in the middle of a fight while fighting multiversal gods. Ben 10 just outscares Saitama in almost every aspect. Don't get me wrong, Saitama is strong, but he's not beating Ben. So you wanna know who would win a fight between Ben 10 and the OnePunch Man himself, Saitama? It was always gonna be Ben. There was like no world where Saitama could beat him. The Arm 6 has way too many hacks, Ben's aliens have too many hacks, and Ben has immeasurable levels of power. Like he's just absurdly busted. And yet people still say he uses to Goku. I hate those people so much. But yeah, that's the end of the video. If you all enjoyed, maybe consider liking and subscribing, and catch y'all in the next one. Have a blessed day.